Hi, I'm Kelly Kerning with Star Constellation Magazine, and with me today, we're ready here to talk about a fantastic new food travel show starring pro wrestler Braun Strowman. This is the best show I've seen recently. It's called Everything on the Menu. Tell me, between suplexes and elbow drops, you're bringing this travel show to the screen for fans. Where did the idea come from? And how did you come up with the concept to order literally everything on the menu?
2023, I had a freak accident in the ring where I got my head a little whacked further back than it's supposed to go, and I ended up having to have my neck fused. So I have a metal plate and four screws in there now because of that. But while I was out with the injury, pondering life, whether I'm going to be able to ever have a professional wrestling career again, a normal day-to-day life, what that might consist of, all this other stuff. I'm sitting around with time because in the wrestling industry, being a WWE superstar, honestly, the only time I had off in the 10 years I was on TV was when I was hurt. We were 52 weeks a year, so it was the first opportunity that I had in, yeah, like a decade to really sit around and think about stuff. And we were joking one day, Kevin and then my agent Nick, who's on the phone call with, we're joking around one day about how when I go out to eat, I order 2 to 3 entrees and stuff like that. One, because I'm a big eater, but two, because I like to try different foods. I've been so blessed with traveling the world and having an opportunity to try. I mean, you literally name almost every walk of life cuisine. I've wrestled on every continent on this earth. So being blessed like that to have this, I guess, more advanced palate now in life from the Sheriff Ford hillbilly that I grew up in North Carolina eating all those great Southern comfort foods. But now I've, expanded my taste buds internationally. And the premise behind the show, we were joking and all this other stuff, was think about how many times you go out to eat and you're looking around and people's food's coming out and you're like, my goodness, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. You get in the menu and you're just overwhelmed because everything is so unbelievably delicious looking. You can't make up your mind. Well, neither can I. So I order everything on the menu and then we sit down and we dive into it. And in the concept behind it, it's not a food challenge show, even though it may seem like one because I am
It's a
larger than
food
it's a
travel show.
travel show.
That's
Yeah,
why
but
I said travel.
no, but a lot of people think it's a food challenge show as well because of
Oh,
ordering everything on the menu. Well, one, I'm just a big eater. And if I could eat the entire menu, which at a few restaurants I was very capable of eating their entire menu, some of them not even close with the massive portions on it. But the premise behind the show is that opportunity to try as many different things as you can, eat as much as you can. Fat and happy is the saying that I like to, end the show with, is how I should feel, ready to go hibernate for a day or two, like the proverbial bear I am, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's a long, short synopsis, I guess, of how we kind of got it and wanting to still be able to entertain. I've realized that I've been given a gift that I'm pretty good at putting smiles on people's faces. So how else, other than body slamming and beating up other poor souls, could I get out there and do that? And well, I believe we found it with everything on the menu.
well, the first stop, you guys went to Texas. You had that smoky barbecue in Fort Worth. How did you go about choosing which city that you decided to cover in the show?
A few of them were personal picks of myself for being Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Orlando's two of my areas where I reside close to. And then the production team got their heads together and really went outside the box, trying to find restaurants that we haven't seen, with all the different food shows that have come and gone throughout the past years. Trying to find something different, trying to find a different way to bring the entertainment and the food joy to the foodies out there. So they did an unbelievable job, in my opinion, vetting out the restaurants, the cities. And a lot of the cities had to do with playing also where I was with WWE at
Right.
the time wrestling. So a lot of people don't know the crazy work that actually went into making this and producing this. For 5 weeks straight, WWE was in Europe. Well, everything on the menu was being filmed in the United States. So I was double shot back and forth every week to Europe to wrestle in Europe, fly back to film everything on the menu, back to Europe, back and forth. Because that's how much I love this project, how much I wanted to bring it to the world, to show the real world Adam Scherr. The whole world's been able to see Braun Strowman, a scripted character. Now is their opportunity to see Adam Scherr, the man that played Braun Strowman.
Absolutely. And as a pro wrestler, like you said, you're always on the road. You're 52 weeks a year. You're never in one place, longer than a day probably. And
Right.
I'm guessing, eating your way across America because you're not cooking for yourself when you're on the road. Maybe what cities or spots have excited you to revisit maybe for this show? Do
Oh,
you
I
have a
just
special favorite?
Honestly, yeah, I got to take a few of my friends this past Friday night. We went and revisited Loopy and Iris again in downtown Milwaukee, and Chef Adam Siegel did not disappoint, to say the least. He really showed it all, brought it out, and made it even more exciting. And that's one of my favorite things about with the show too, and in life is bringing people out to have nice dinners, to have food, have a conversation over things that they've never even eaten before. And I got people that were with me that night to try foods they've never eaten before in their life, and just seeing that excitement and that honestly that fear at first, and then you take that bite, and then watching their expressions change on their face when you get to understand how delicate and how amazing and some of these flavors that you don't necessarily get to eat on a day-to-day basis. So that's one of my favorite things, and really shines in the show too, I believe, as well, as seeing me when I get to eat things that I haven't eaten before, because it's very rare that there's something that I haven't eaten in life so far. So when a chef's able to, spin something or trick my mind or my giant palate that I have, that's what makes it even better.
What's the underrated food city that you hope this show really brings hungry stomachs to them and gets them excited about? Is there one that sticks out?
I think Orlando was really fun because I parked my carcass there for so many years when I moved down there with WWE, and I've gotten so close with the family that owns Beefy King. The episode that I did on that is so special to me because I've been eating there since day one when I moved down there. I discovered them. I got close with them. They worked with me through the pandemic. We were able to feed them and another restaurant, Jimmy Hula's in Orlando, my two favorite local spots. We're able to feed 1,000 frontline employees at Orlando Health and Advat Health in the middle of the pandemic when everyone's working so tirelessly. As a kind of a thank you for me and the community that I was able to get out there and do that. They hand delivered and fed all that. So just the community aspect, they've used stuff their bread's local from a local bakery, and just the sense of community. And it's really cool because I'm actually going in there this next week and doing a sit down interview with the New York Times in the restaurant. And all
Nice.
this is so humbling to me. I still don't even understand how my career has got to where it is now, and then to turn the chapter in life and then just totally jump into something, blindfolded into an industry that I've never even dabbled in before, and then being able to see where it's going, seeing the unbelievable support USA Network has behind this, being out at the NASCAR race this past weekend, walking around, seeing my fans, seeing just how amazing life really is. And I constantly just shake my head at some of this stuff going, how did you do this? But I'm so blessed and thankful that I am.
Is there a location maybe that you're still dreaming of eating in, but you didn't get a chance to cover this season? You were talking about how WWE was in Europe. Is there a chance you might take the show over
Yeah,
there?
ideally, I would love to take everything on the menu internationally. I mean, anywhere that opportunity to go and eat. I mean, I'm not going to turn down a meal for one, and two, yeah, to be able to yet again, where you talk about right that traveling the world on somebody else's accord. And doing what I love. That's what said. So getting out now, instead of beating people up, now I get to eat their food. So like, what a win-win for this giant 5-year-old.
Sorry, my dog's just decided to be a part
All,
of the interview.
all good. My pitties are usually all over me, but they're in Florida right now.
We're talking about you're not just visiting these places, you're trying the local eats, you're also stepping into the kitchen, you're talking with the chefs, and you're interacting with the people who love the food that are in the restaurant. When you're not kind of flipping guys over the rope, do you enjoy cooking for yourself? Is that something
I,
that you enjoy?
I very much enjoy cooking. I was very blessed as a child. Like we didn't have a whole lot growing up, but we never went without food. We grew a lot of our own products, produce, and all that stuff. Mom and dad, with their Midwest inspiration, growing up there, learning the Southern style cooking. Like I said, I didn't get 6'8", 350 pounds by accident. So learning that, watching them go, and then same thing for me. When I started my wrestling journey, I was broke. I was sleeping in my car, sleeping in friends' bedrooms, couches, wherever I could at the time. I had 150 bucks in my pocket, and I moved to Florida with everything in a Kia Soul and a big ass dream. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
And it's been wild. That's what I said. 12 years later, here we are now talking about that I have my own food show and all this other stuff. So it's still that humblingness or humility that I constantly get surrounded by, and I constantly have to take a breath and go, wow. So yeah, I think I just got completely off subject when I was talking about. What were we talking about?
We were talking about cooking for yourself because, like,
Cooking for
I'm
myself.
guessing.
There's some of those side effects of wrestling for a decade. So cooking for myself. No, yeah.
it,
So for that, yeah, growing up, not having a lot, I had to learn to make this. So with the calorie consumption that I have on a day-to-day basis, I mean, right now, my normal food, I'm eating 6 pounds of chicken a day, like 16 cups of rice, a bag of spinach, half a gallon of milk, 20 eggs. Like the tally on the grocery bill gets up there fast. So
Adam,
making
it's,
what?
I
That's why
am
I said making my
amazed
own.
by
I
what you
have to
just
make
said.
my own food. I have to make my own food. So that's a trouble thing too. Being on the road with WWE, a lot of the times it's hard to get those macros in because we're done wrestling at 11 o'clock at night, and there's not a whole lot of options. So it was either eat junk food on the road, or I had to prep all my stuff. And then I had a cooler. I've been very blessed to work with Grizzly Coolers, unbelievable American-made product. And then I literally cooked my 5 to 10 pounds of chicken. I would bulk everything. I would cook 5 to 10 pounds of chicken, having it in a tub where I'd have 20, 30 cups of rice. I'd have 50 scrambled eggs, all packed in my thing. And then I would weigh that out and eat it throughout the day, especially when I made the body transformation that I'd made over my WWE career, coming in from being one of the strongest human beings on the planet to being one of the most jacked WWE superstars of all time. So, just it's been fun with that. That's another thing I like about food and the human body is being able to manipulate the human body with different treats, and not necessarily treats. I eat a lot of stuff that I don't want to eat, but that's how it works. So that's the cool thing also with the concept with the show is like, all right, so now I can bust my butt, super strict diet, boring baked fish, chicken, all this other stuff. And then when I get to do everything on the menu, oh, it's such a treat.
It's a dream. And you really are the perfect person for the show, I have to admit. So not only can you demolish 15,000 calories in one sitting in that one episode, it was crazy, but you're also like a man of the people. You're personable, you're charming, you're entertaining everyone in the
Oh,
dining area and the
stop, stop,
chefs.
stop,
You
stop.
really are. You really are. You come with like this big smile on your face. You talk to people from all walks of life about one thing that keeps us all together, which is what goes on the table. That's like a commonality between all of us, I think. What do you hope the series adds to the landscape of travel shows and cooking shows, which there are quite a bit?
I think honestly, I think it's exactly what you said. It's my spin off, my taste, my aura. I don't know, whatever it is, but it's also I think for me when I watched it back, and I hate watching myself on TV. I think I screw everything up constantly. But there were moments in this where I was like, okay, wow, like I'm really shining on this and stuff like that. And I just completely forgot what I was talking about again.
About when
See,
you're watching yourself on TV and you
yes,
realize that you are a man of the people.
yes, and that it's so much fun to be able to get in and have this conversation, especially because I guess I like to break the stereotypes. I'm not you look at me and you don't expect me to be this articulate, this compassionate, this caring, this loving, and one that's trying to break these stereotypes around our big, my fellow giants on the earth. We're more than fee fi fo fum through life and stuff like that. And it's so fun to be able to show that side of me as well because everyone's seen this monster that I played on TV just destructing and destroying everything. And now I get to be a little bit more compassionate, articulate, and then having fun with the people and stuff like that. And I think that's what shines. And I don't know, I almost want to say it's a blue collar um, description of the food. Like I'm not educated in food other than I've just eaten it. I know what I like. I know what it
Right.
tastes like to me. And I think it's going to be a lot more to the common day-to-day casual foodies that watch all this stuff, but you get into some of this culinary talk and you have no idea what's going on. And I catch myself watching it, I'm like, man, I feel dumb. I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, ugh. So with me, I think with the way I describe it, my passion, and a lot of it's just caveman. I make a lot of grunts and funky noises, and you can tell when it's good because honestly, those are the best moments when I don't say anything. I'll close my eyes and some guttural rumble will come out from my belly, and that's when the monster's happy. So I think that's the fun side of it as well, is kind of getting a blue collar approach to understanding some of these foods while I'm learning along the way with the chefs teaching me on all these unbelievable ingredients and stuff that I never even knew you could eat before, and then figuring out a way to explain it so people like me at home can understand it.
Totally. And one of the episodes I really loved was when you went to DC and you had some soul food. I loved that episode. It was a really great interaction between you and the woman from that owned the
Miss
restaurant. That was
Virginia Ali, yes, what an angel
yeah,
she was.
that was my favorite. Was there a style of food that maybe you were less familiar with, or even maybe nervous to try, that this show completely changed your mind, opened your mind, and now it's one of your favorites?
Oh, definitely. The experience in Chicago and Atlanta. This poor hillbilly having that meal, that dinner that night, and yeah, I mean it's intimidating. You hear about a restaurant that takes, I want to say it's like 2 years to get on the reservation list for it.
Yeah.
And you walk in and it's like everything is so over the top. And then not to mention like, okay, this restaurant's been number one restaurant in the world like 10 times. There's only 10 3-star Michelin restaurants in the entire United States. And it's like, oh man, I need to like put a suit on. I hate wearing suits and all this other stuff. So I'm like, I got to dress the part. We're going in here. You've seen me in baseball cap and how I like to dress like this on a normal day-to-day basis. I was like, all right, we're going to one of the fanciest restaurants in the world. We got to dress this pig up and make him look ready for this county fair. So we get going in there, and then like everything's coming in. I'm just like, I don't know which fork to use. I don't know which glass to drink out of. Can I use this napkin on my face? What is this for? All this other stuff. But then just as the waiter that I had was so unbelievable at his job, talking through everything, helping me understand this in these layman hillbilly terms that I've grown up in the food industry learning, and then just the fun along the way. But for me too, there was a moment I got emotional during that dinner, and because I had this realization like 12 years ago, I was basically homeless, I was broke, and that dinner would have cost me 5 or 6 weeks paychecks to eat, much less if I could have even got on the reservation list to get in there. Now I'm sitting in the private dining room in the middle of the kitchen by myself at one of the most one of not even one of the most the best restaurant in the world multiple times, and I have this realization of like, wow, this is my show. I'm being paid to eat this in the fanciest restaurant in the world. And 12 years ago, I couldn't have dreamt of even stepping foot into this place.
It
So
makes
from
you
that,
appreciate the struggle meals in the back of
it
that car,
man,
right,
it makes
Adam?
me appreciate the ramen and canned chicken that I've eaten and everything else in between, and gas station hard-boiled eggs and hamburger patties from Wendy's at 3 o'clock in the morning, and sitting down and dining on literally the most delicate decadence on earth. It's again that humility thing constantly catches me and bites me in the ass, and I'm so thankful for it.
Well, what's next for you, Adam? Besides like dominating in the ring, are there anything else the fans can keep an eye out for? I am hoping you go take this to Europe. I really am.
Well, that's the plan. So the big thing is I need everybody that's listening, reading, however you consume your media, whatever form this comes out. I need you all to tune in October 24th, right after SmackDown on USA Network. Let's blast these ratings, because I might have heard a little Tweety Bird saying possibility if ratings are good opening weekend, they want to plan season 2. So if y'all want to see more of me doing what I love, which you're gonna regardless, as I'm inevitable. But the more that watch, the more that get on and tune in, the more that interact on social media. Let's have some fun with this. Tell me what you think about it. If you hate it, tell me. Tell me what I need to do different. I know there's going to be critics out there. Trust me, I'm used to being critiqued. I wrestled in the WWE. Our fan base is the most passionate on earth, and they let you know when they don't like something. So keep it coming, man. That's the same thing. And then, man, 2026, I got a lot of really cool stuff already on the round, up the sleeve, under the sleeve, whatever the saying is. You're going to be seeing more of this big, beautiful beard gracing your television screens and streaming platforms across the world. And I can't wait to show you more of Adam Scher, the
Well,
man
what
that
would you
made
like to
Braun
say?
Strowman.
Oh, yeah. Well, what would you like to say, Adam, to the wrestling fans who are about to wrestle up some of this good food in the places that you've covered?
Well, bring a napkin, because you're going to be drooling the entire episode.
And that is the tagline. You did great today, Adam. I wish you the best. I think the show is fantastic. I love travel food shows. And I love it when it's novices who are not cooks, who are not chefs, that just like to eat good food, you know?
Amen.